Unbelievable. Months after vowing not to address Jagaban as my president, Pastor Bakare visits Tinubu. The Genius Media Nigeria reports that Pastor Tinubu Bakare, serving overseer of the Citadel Global Community Church, paid a courtesy visit to President Bola Tinubu at his residence in Lagos State. The visit was confirmed in an expose by presidential aide Bayo Onanuga, who shared a photo of the president with a cleric on Wednesday, June 4, 2025. This marks the first meeting between Tinubu and Bakare since the former took office as president. The duo had contested for the All Progressive Congress APC presidential ticket in the 2022 primary, with the former Lagos State governor emerging as the winner. However, a few days before Tinubu swearing in on May 29, 2023, he clearly vowed that he would never address the then president-elect as my president. So, what's the assurance that he has called? He said he would never address him. So, what's the assurance that even though he's meeting with him, he called him my president? My president, are you there? What if he did not call my president? Probably just had to go and visit him because of something urgent or because something is important that he had to go and see him for. But it still doesn't change the fact, or we don't know if he actually called him my president or not. Abby? However, speaking with journalists after closed-door meeting on Wednesday, Bakare said his discussion with the president focused on national development and the future of Nigeria. It is not just about reservations, it's about how the country will go well. My personal vision to see a nation that works in my lifetime, and those things I've discussed with Mr. President. They are not hidden things, but I learned that when you discuss with the person in charge, you leave it with him to do whatsoever he will with what you have suggested, he stated. So I have had a private conversation with Mr. President. He didn't say my president. So is it not different? And I'm glad that he received me well, and I trust that God will help our nation. He expressed optimism for a peaceful and united Nigeria, calling for cross-regional collaboration to move the country forward. I like to see Nigerians being their brother's keeper. I like to see collaborations between the best of the North and the best of the South to steer Nigeria in the right direction. I'd like to see predictable progress in our nation. We have danced around some subjects for too long a time. It is time to concentrate, to take concrete actions, to ensure that the masses of our country do not live in abject poverty. That's all, he added. This meeting comes after a recent verbal altercation between Bakare and the 10th National Assembly, in which the former rebunked the latter in his Easter State of the Nation broadcast. Bakare accused Tinubu of reducing the legislature to a heaven of legislative rascality, describing it as the 48th member of his cabinet. Responding through his spokesperson, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, the Senate said Bakare had crossed the line with his remarks. And so what did you do to him after that? Oh, it is well. Lateef Akonde says, dog returned to his vomit. We knew that they would come. Others are coming to beg. Now, who told you they came to beg? Who told you that they came to beg? Beg. Cybernaut says, brothers in arms against GG in 2015. Adewale Ana said, Tinubu is good at trying to settle with those against him. The fact that Pastor Sunday Bakare visited Tinubu at Tinubu's invitation, no one can specify their discussion but only comment on their pics. Amici recently said he met Tinubu at Yola and request for Amici, he turned it down. I'm sure many would have said it that Amici and Tinubu are together. Olayemi Ajide says, I'm even surprised that he has the guts to go to Mr. President after all the gibberish that he has spread against the man in the name of preaching, unstable character. Tijani Abdulsalam says, we know them, they say something and do the opposite. That's the true color. Julius Oladide says, you believe the words of these political pastors to your own peril. Had he not said that God has personally told him that he has been ordained to succeed Buhari, he scored 0 at the primaries. Nothing wrong for a pastor to play politics. Pastor Sunday Bakare is a congenital liar. I know they okay. Shotamura says, nothing like principle among our pastors. The inflation has affected his church offering, so he needs to allow his vomit. He needs to swallow his vomit, okay, to get more money. He did the same when Jonathan wanted to stop fuel subsidy. He was at Ojora shouting, and same is happening today. Pastor Bakare is broke, the church members too are broke. Okay. Zakari Makolo says, yes, he did not say he will not visit. He did not say he will not visit him, but he only said that he will not call him my president, Abi. That's what he said. Deji says, I don't believe that Bakare is a true pastor. Nothing to show. What do you want him to show you? To prove that he's a good pastor. He doesn't do miracle signs and wonders, Abi. So because of that, he's not a true pastor. Or he doesn't see things about people. Because to you people, some of you, that is what pastoring means. Seeing visions about somebody. Carrying somebody and telling them, oh, I saw something about you. Or performing miracles. That is when you people will say, oh, somebody is a true pastor. It is very rich people. Alhaji Abdul Hakim says, Pastor Bakare is a clown. I remember when he said he's the 16th president. Very funny. At Mabayo Olufemi says he's a confused man. Michael Eche says, so-called men of God hustling and begging in God's name. Dela Cruz says, the reason I like my president is not a noisemaker like some. And he welcomes whoever comes to him regardless of the opposition. He is a father indeed. Indeed. Go City Shalom says, visiting the president doesn't mean he compromised. He is the only voice that can speak to power and still visit them. Exactly. Visiting doesn't mean that, he has stopped being a good Christian, or he has stopped doing whatever it is that he's doing before. And he never called my president. He said Mr. President. He said he won't call Tinubu his president. And I don't think he has done that. I don't think he has done that. So people should leave him alone. These are the type of people who speak with the two sides of their mouth. Okay. My listeners, over to you. Leave your thoughts. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.